It was a peaceful evening in the quiet town of Maplewood. Sarah and her husband John had just moved into their new home, an old Victorian house with a lot of history. "John, I love this house. It has so much character," Sarah said as they unpacked boxes in the living room. "Yeah, it's great. But did you hear what the realtor said about the previous owners?" John replied, "Something about them leaving in a hurry, right?" Sarah asked, "Yeah, and they never came back. Strange, isn't it?" John said. That night, as they settled into bed, they heard a faint noise coming from the basement. "John, did you hear that?" Sarah asked, a bit worried. "It's probably just the house settling. Old houses make noises," John reassured her. But the noise continued, growing louder and more distinct. It sounded like whispering. "John, I'm scared. What if there's someone down there?" Sarah said, "I'll go check it out. Stay here," John said, grabbing a flashlight and heading towards the basement. As John reached the bottom of the stairs, the whispering stopped. He scanned the room with his flashlight, but saw nothing unusual. "There's nothing here, Sarah. Just some old furniture and boxes," John called up. "Are you sure?" It sounded so real, Sarah said, still uneasy. "Positive. Let's just go back to bed," John said. The next day, Sarah was in the kitchen making breakfast when she noticed a strange symbol carved into the wooden floor. "John, come look at this." "What do you think it is?" she asked. "Looks like some kind of old marking. Maybe it's from the previous owners," John suggested. As the days went by, more strange things began to happen. Objects moved on their own, doors slammed shut, and the whispering returned, louder and more insistent. "John, I think this house is haunted." "We need to leave," Sarah said, her fear growing. "We can't just leave, Sarah. We need to find out what's going on," John said, determined to get to the bottom of it. John spent hours researching in the local library, finding old newspaper articles about the house. He discovered that the original owner, a man named Edward Blackwood, was rumored to have practiced dark rituals in the basement. "Sarah, I found something. The previous owner was involved in some really creepy stuff. We need to be careful," John warned. That night, the whispering started again, louder than ever. "John, it's happening again," Sarah cried. "Stay here. I'm going to the basement," John said, grabbing his flashlight. As John descended the stairs, the whispering grew louder. He saw a figure standing in the corner, shrouded in darkness. "Who's there?" John called out. The figure turned around, revealing hollow, empty eyes. It started to move toward John. John tried to run, but the door slammed shut, trapping him inside. "John! John, are you okay?" Sarah screamed from the top of the stairs. And from that night on, Sarah never saw John again. The house had claimed another victim,